So I'm going to ask you a question. If I was to ask you before we start industrial society, because these societies are describing major shifts throughout history of human population. So what would you describe as the major shift from from hunter-gatherers to agriculture? Raise your hand. Yes. We see an increase in population, but a population shift wouldn't rename a society. What happens is major changes in societies lead to things that would actually lead to population growth. So what are these things?
Agriculture.
So what does that mean?
Like they've settled their farm.
They settled. There's a major shift. We went from being nomadic, moving from place to place, to settling down. Huge transformation, which could lead to, renaming a society. There's more. What else?
Domestication of plants and animals.
Domestication. They utilize their environment to benefit them to grow things and increase the ability to survive. What else? One more major thing.
Isn't it the grass? The plants like grass.
Well, that would be the impact of that shift. Okay, we needed to cut down trees in order to settle. That's an impact of the shift. That's an impact of the shift. They needed rules, right, for settling because there's now ground rules. The creation of one specific, huge, which allowed for the cultivating of land.
Irrigation.
The plow, okay? The plow is what allowed them to cultivate the land along with the domestication of animals, which led to we need irrigation systems because this self-irrigation is really not working out. Okay, so the shifts continued. Now we're going to talk about the shifts in industrial. So what happened in industrial? Energy, tools. The pages are a little different because this characterizes really this whole society. This revolution of the creation of what? Anybody know?
Machine.
What machine?
The steam engine.
Correct. Everybody remember this moment when you watch the video. Steam engine is a machine that utilizes what to power? Steam is produced from energy. What forms? Coal. We use fossil fuels to power this steam engine in what we call power plants or just to run cars. Trains, all this happened. And now we've even shifted even further and started to use nuclear power, which continues to use the steam engine. It just powers it differently. We're going to learn all that. What kind of resources are these? Non-renewable. So the impact of this creation of the steam engine shifted us from potentially renewable resources to our dependence on non-renewable. And I call it dependence because we, as a country, depend on non-renewable resources to survive. We created steam engine where we shifted from potentially renewable to non-renewable resources. But this creation, which also completely characterizes the industrial society, led to the population boom. What about technology? What did we discover in the industrial society? I can't find my mouse. There it is. Technology. What did we discover that led to the huge major environmental problem or root cause to environmental problems, which is overpopulation? Medicine. We discovered that there's sicknesses or germs, and then the germ theory came into play. And that led, so by discovering germs and discovering medicines to cure germs, what do you think happened to the population? Why does it grow? Because you could cure germs and live longer. So less deaths led to our biggest problem, which is overpopulation. And we know that if you have overpopulation, what environmental impact do you have? Overconsumption, loss of biodiversity, abuse of land, depletion of resources. Every environmental problem arises from the industrial society.